10 months ago, Mark and Tanya sat in my office crying, their heads heavy in their hands. They wept tears of sadness and relief. At least everything was finally on the table. Although their marriage had been leveled, they could glimpse possibilities for rebuilding. The shame, rage, and fear Mark had been carrying for years had simply become too much. So over a stretch of exhausting days, he revealed to Tanya layer after layer of truths that he had kept hidden deep within. He confessed to having multiple affairs Tanya had long suspected without confirmation. He also revealed that as an adolescent, he had been sexually abused by a teacher. Tanya's heart was broken. She hurt everywhere as she learned what Mark went through years ago, and she was full of rage and sadness about his dishonest behavior in the marriage. Today, the relationship between Mark and Tanya is the strongest it has been. Mark is devoted to his recovery. Before his world crashed around him, he was a victim. In addition to acting out sexually, he was prone to fits of rage, quickly blaming Tanya for the problems in the marriage and unable to look at his own behavior. He is now a survivor. He stands honestly in his story, the story of his abuse, the story of his inappropriate and wildly hurtful actions, and the story of his healing. He is by no means perfect, as that is never the goal, but he is honest, and he is brave. He takes responsibility for the relationship challenges that resulted from his trauma, difficulties with trust and feeling close, which means that he no longer unfairly blames his wife. Tanya is healing as well. At first, she felt that staying in the marriage was a sign of weakness, but as she claimed much-needed time and space to focus on herself, she unearthed her deepest truth, wanting to stay and see what is possible within the marriage. She began working to forgive Mark and asking for what she needs from him in order to rebuild trust. Not every couple could or should survive a chapter like this, but Mark and Tanya are buoyed by a deep commitment to the life they built together and a belief that the way out is through. The power of story. Doing couples therapy with Mark and Tanya reminds me of the power of story. How much healing is possible when we bravely claim the stories of our lives and stand without shame in our truth. Storytelling yields understanding within a person and between people. There is a branch of psychology called personality psychology, and researchers in this field take a variety of approaches to understanding a person. Some personality psychologists say the personality is a collection of relatively stable traits like introversion, extroversion, neuroticism, and agreeableness. Other personality psychologists say that if you want to know someone, you need to know his or her life story. According to these folks, our life story is our personality.